Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and today we're going to talk about the secret room on the Hawkins Laboratory map. We're going to talk about where it is, how to get into it, what's inside, and how it came to be. So let's get started. So I'm going to try to get the timeline right here, and I guess this all really started because of my love of trying to hunt for the golden toolboxes. If you don't know what a golden toolbox is, you've probably most commonly seen the one on the Haddonfield map underneath a picnic table. Well, there are several around the different maps of Dead by Daylight, one for each realm. And I was looking for the one on the Temple of Purgation map when the plague came out for weeks and weeks. I was banging my head against the wall, and I finally had a dev. I even put a bounty out that I would pay anybody who could find this for me because it was driving me nuts. So I put a bounty up on Twitter for the location of the golden toolbox on the Temple of Purgation map. Nobody could claim it, and then I came to find out that the reason why no one could find it is because it didn't exist. And I found this out from one of the devs who works for Behavior. Very kind soul, gentleman named Andre. He's worked for Behavior for like 13 years. And if you've seen his dev spotlight on the Behavior YouTube channel, his story is an inspirational one of perseverance and not giving up when you want something to land his job with Behavior. It's a great piece. Anyway, Andre let me off the hook and told me that there's only one golden toolbox per realm, and since the Plague and the Huntress both share maps on the Red Forest map, and the Huntress's map has a golden toolbox, there was no golden toolbox for the Temple of Purgation. So that was a load off, a real relief for me, because normally the typical response from the devs when you ask them anything about the golden toolboxes is, what golden toolbox? And they don't even acknowledge it. It's like a thing that they put in. It's just an Easter egg, by the way. It doesn't actually do anything. The golden toolbox is just there for you to find, bragging rights, say, ha, I found it, I know a little secret, yada, yada, yada. But normally they don't talk about the golden toolboxes at all, and they act as if they don't exist. So I finally had someone let me off the hook, and I was able to give up on the Temple of Purgation map and put it aside. So then, when there was no map for Ghostface, and then when the Stranger Things chapter came out for Demogorgon, we had the Hawkins Laboratory map, and Andre would check in on me every once in a while and ask me had I found the golden toolbox yet on the Hawkins Lab map, and I was not able to find it for a very long time. And he told me, he said, well, you did this to yourself, you know. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, when the Legion's map came out with the Ormond Resort, he said that he was so proud of the location that he picked for the golden toolbox that he thought it was going to be a stumper for quite a long time. And he said that I found the golden toolbox on the first day that the map came out, which that wasn't my recollection of it, but I went back and looked on launch day, and sure enough, I did find the golden toolbox on the first day, so he was right. So he said after that, he decided that they were going to make the golden toolbox location on the new map almost criminally difficult to find, and it was a long time me trying to find the golden toolbox on that Hawkins Laboratory map. So this was a difficult one to find, and we were asking for hints, and the only thing we had seen really was from McLean, who had said, I'm not going to give any hints, but the only thing I can say is that we did something a little different this time with this golden toolbox placement. And so if you don't know, Andre streams on Twitch. There are a lot of great devs for Dead by Daylight who stream on Twitch. Sometimes we'd hang out in his chat and beg for hints because, you know, begging was not beneath us at this point when we were looking for it. And then, remarkably, one night, Andre shared this bit of information with me.
And for you, Paulie, we're coming up with something. We're not going to tell you where it is, but we're going to find a way to communicate where you could find it. Like, give you a clue through the game. It's not available yet. But we'll find something. We'll put something in there. I'm not telling you where and when and what, but just be patient. you're gonna have something for you and King and all the fans out there that are like passionate by that kind of like stuff. So just teasing you there, but it's not in. And we're still thinking of a way, so just be patient, man. Just be patient.
So that was pretty remarkable that I guess they took pity on us and knew we were having a really hard time with it. And then it was around the beginning of November that we saw some activity on Twitter between Matt LaMarche and Andre, where Matt had said, maybe they need a little help. I know a few scientists just dying to give them a hint. Let's wait and see. In response to Andre saying, haha, they're still looking for that thing. So once Matt said that there were scientists dying to give us a hint, we went back into the map and started looking at all the dead scientists lying on the floor, seeing if like they were pointing at something or if they had something on their body that was a clue. We were looking all over the place around the dead scientists and still came up empty-handed. But then a couple days after that, Definitive Default shared a screenshot with me on Twitter showing how they had performed a Mori, which pushed into the large briefcase in the center of the portal room on the Hawkins Lab map and revealed the location of the golden toolbox inside of that large briefcase. So King and a few of my other friends went into the game and they actually figured out how to make the large case open to reveal the golden toolbox inside by initiating the end game collapse, and that made the large case open a couple of inches to show the golden toolbox inside. And by the way, I do believe there are multiple spawn locations for the golden toolbox. I've seen at least one other one that Puppers found in the game. So, when we would play, only some people could see the golden toolbox in the case opening, and for other people the case was closed. So I think there might be multiple locations where the gold toolbox can spawn and only certain people can see it in certain locations from their POV, but I haven't entirely tested that. I'm satisfied having found it in the main portal room. That's enough for me. But you should note that I've seen Puppers find it in a different spot on the map too. So anyway, that was job done. We found the golden toolbox. It was over, right? Well, Andre had said to us, but you didn't find everything. You didn't find the clue that we left you yet. And so we were going into the map and looking at the corkboard with all of the notes posted to it in the upstairs floor. We're reading the schematics on all the backs of all the computers for all the writing on there to try and find a clue. And we still couldn't find anything. And Andre had given us this as a response when we were saying, what else are you talking about?
So other secrets on the Hawkins. Well, I'm not saying anything anymore. Like, this is for you, man. You know? You guys are amazing, so... And you're hungry, so we feed you. So keep looking for stuff. Keep looking around. Since we got that wheel spinning with Hawkins, you guys proved that you're up for the challenge, and we will feed you with some of that stuff. So we left the seeds there, we planted the seed, and we'll let you grow.
And I know we haven't even gotten to the secret room in the Hawkins Lab map yet, but I should also point out that Andre told us that there are secrets on the new Sanctum of Wrath map too. And it isn't the Jizo Bosatsu statues turning their head to look at you when you look away and then look back at them. That isn't it. He said it's something else beyond that. Remains to be found. So get out there, sleuths. Might be worth your while. And then after posting my video about the location of the golden toolbox, another person who works for Behavior, Matt Walker, had sent me this message saying, when the clue is harder to find than the actual secret, meaning yes, we had found the secret of the golden toolbox, but we still hadn't found the additional clue. So we looked a while longer, but not having any success and getting busy with life and things like that, it just kind of fell by the wayside, and we discontinued our search for these additional secrets or clues on Hawkins Lab map. Until on December 27th, DBDO tweeted at me a picture of a room that they had chainsaw sprinted and seen inside with 4 dead scientists in it, and I immediately knew that that was the clue and I needed to get in there. So the location of this room is RNG dependent upon what basement spawn you get for the Hawkins Lab. There's two possible spawns for the Hawkins Lab basement, either in the control room beside the portal room or underneath the stairs of the multi-level leading to the upstairs. If you get the spawn where the basement is in the control room, you can't get into this room. If you get the spawn where the basement is underneath the stairs of the multi-level section of the Hawkins Lab map, you can get in this room. So this room is in the basement location, boarded off in the control room. So if you're following what I mean, the basement is under the stairs, so there's a rolled down metal door locked next to the guy in the yellow hazmat suit in the control room. That's where the secret room is. So I tried a few ways to get in there. I used a Legion Mori to push into the room.
You just see Tap's dead body. Alright, that's kind of cool. And weird.
And then I used a Billy Chainsaw sprint to see inside the room, push my face through the door the way that DBDO had done it.
Do it, Dad.
And then I tried to blink in there, but I didn't have any success. And it wasn't until I saw somebody on Reddit who had done it that I realized that I was overshooting it or undershooting it, and it wasn't allowing me in there. And you need to use a very specific blink range to get into the room. So I added on the landing marker, which will let me know when I'm actually going to blink in the room. I'll show you here now me blinking into the room. So that's your secret Hawkins room there. 4 dead scientists with coolers full of beer. That's root beer, right? It's all root beer, no alcohol in Dead by Daylight. Is there alcohol in Dead by Daylight? It's all root beer. And they're all dead, and they all have bottles in their hands. And there's coolers full of extras all over the place with just, they're basking in the light of this green cathode ray tube old school monitor. And then what you see on the wall here is this whiteboard. So let's talk about the whiteboard. So first impression of the whiteboard, I know it's supposed to be a clue. Obviously right here in the upper right hand corner, the EGC stands out to me immediately as the endgame collapse, telling me that the endgame collapse is the trigger for the golden toolbox to appear in the map. Now, this stuff at the bottom with the XC, I was like, what's that? So I just type it in on the internet, and it turns out that that is the electron configuration for the element gold. So that makes sense because it's letting me know that the EGC needs to happen for the gold to appear, the golden toolbox. Makes sense. But then I was stumped by this molecular model up in the left-hand corner, and I just said, what is that? I don't understand what that is. So I hit up my friend Duliud, who is the rockinest chemistry teacher that I know, and I sent her this picture of this molecule, and I said, do you know what that is? And she said, well, it's something organic, probably an acid. but I don't know what it is. So I was left with that, and I'm like, okay, so what's this molecule here? So then I thought maybe it's aspirin to relieve my headache from trying to find this golden toolbox, because aspirin is acid, right? Acetyl salicylic acid is aspirin. So I thought maybe that's what it is. And I looked at the molecular model for the aspirin, and that wasn't it. And I just couldn't figure out what it was. And I wanted to make this video, and I was just going to go ahead and make it without knowing what the model of the molecule was. And then yesterday I woke up and I had an epiphany. I just woke up with a ton of clarity, and I started going through a whole bunch of molecule models and comparing them. And then I thought, well, this is silly. Like, why am I doing this? I'm going about this all wrong. I need to try and figure out what the molecule could possibly be, and then start looking up what those molecules look like, rather than just looking at random molecules, because that's like infinite. Try and find something that's going to match. So I have to rack my brain and try and figure out what molecule could this be, and then try and match it. So I'm thinking acid. Okay, could it be like stomach acid from the Demogorgon spitting out heads? Is it gastric acid? Is it like plague acid? That doesn't make any sense. What kind of acid could this be? And I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, this is supposed to be a clue for me and King and the other folks. So what could this be? And then it hit me. I said, let me see what the molecule for this in my head looks like. And I looked it up, and it matched. So sure enough, it turned out to be the molecule of the combination of tetraphthalic acid and ethylene glycol, alcohol. And when those come together, they form the compound known as ethylene tetraphthalate. So what's ethylene tetraphthalate? Well, you may know it more commonly as polyester. So I'm not gonna lie, that hit me like a ton of bricks when I saw that that's what it was, that it was polyester. And yeah, I don't even know what made me think to look it up. It just, I don't know why. It was like something guided me to look up what polyester, the molecule, looked like. And that's what it was. So kind of in a way, my name is in the game. And that's pretty awesome. I can't thank the devs enough, like, for this reciprocal love. You know, I feel the love, and I hope they feel mine right back at them. That's pretty special. And so I sit here on New Year's Eve, almost 2020. It'll be 2020 by the time you see this. And I just think, you know, 2019 ended on a pretty rough patch for me. November, December, my son's illness returned. Anybody who saw like my streaming schedule for December was all over the place. Missed a lot of days, a lot of time, and it was a rough year. You know, I'm hoping for 2020 to be better. Keep hope alive. And look, everybody has problems in life. Everyone faces adversity, and no one is exempt from that. It's not a matter of if something's going to happen to you, it's a matter of when. And I'm a big believer in, you know, it's not about what happens to you in life, it's about how you react to it and things like that, and just trying to keep positive mindset. And, you know, they say everybody's fighting a battle you don't know anything about. And just simple little gestures like this of kindness, you just don't know how much that can mean to somebody sometimes. And I think that if we were all a little kinder and gentler to one another, that the world would be a better place. So I'm hoping for a kinder and gentler fog in 2020, and I hope that you all follow me along with that. Because kindness goes a long way, and it doesn't really cost you anything. So that's my story about the secret room on the Hawkins lab. I don't know if it was a lot of blah 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 or if you enjoyed it, but I wanted to tell it properly and in my own way. So there it is. And yeah, I can't thank you devs enough. I love you all. Happy New Year and all the best to all the devs and everyone out there watching this in 2020. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.